Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today we are going to be taking a look at the HBAR charts and we're going to see where it might be headed, and we will cover both bullish and bearish scenarios as well, just to simply cover all of the possibilities. And towards the end of the video, I will cover the overall macro structure of the overall altcoin market as well. Now, for those of you who love trading crypto and would like to try out the same crypto exchanges that I use on a regular basis, feel free to go ahead and try out either the MEXC exchange or the Blowfin exchange, with the links in the video description down below this video. Now, the reasons why I love these two exchanges is, one, I love MEXC because they have some of the cheapest trading fees in the entire industry, so you get to keep more of your profits. Now, the reason why I love Blowfin is because they allow anybody from anywhere to be able to sign up and trade crypto futures. So if you're from the United States and you want to trade crypto futures, you can do it right here on Blowfin, and this is actually where I currently trade crypto futures myself. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the macro HBAR charts. Now, as we can clearly see right now, price kind of, we had this giant, almost godlike candle on HBAR. And ever since that happened, the next bar opened, the next daily candle opened, and we went a little bit higher, but price ended up coming down and it started to start a very deep correction after that. Obviously, that's going to happen. Usually when there's a big move to the upside, usually it's preceded by a big move back to the downside to create a valley. And now we've been kind of consolidating within this area between right around 9 cents and 12 cents. But as of right now, at the time of me filming this video, altcoins have been, the whole altcoin market has been kind of dumping lately. And so we've got some midterm support and resistance levels here as well. We've got this midterm resistance level right in this area around 10.5 cents. We're going to need to pass that in order to have, we're going to need to gain momentum and enough momentum to get past this in order to get back up to this resistance level here of pretty much 12 cents up here. Now, if this doesn't happen in a bearish scenario, which is honestly what's kind of going on right now. There's a lot of talk in the altcoin market of a further dump coming. And if that does end up happening, as you guys can clearly see, we were kind of riding this 9 cent level here for, a couple days. And it looks to me right now, at the time of me filming, that we are starting to kind of dump a little bit further. So if we do end up dumping further, what we want to look at first here is we want to look at this midterm support level down here, right around the 7 cent range. All right. Now, if that does end up failing, we do have very strong support down in here at 0.6 cents as well. All right. Now, it is a possibility that both of these levels could end up failing, especially if, the altcoin market decides to dump even further. And with that said, I'll end up doing another video updating on that. But as of right now, these are the main two levels that we want to look at here. This is the midterm level of 7 cents or 7.4. And then a more longer term support level down here at right around 6.5 cents or somewhere around there. All right. So with the support and resistance levels out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at what the indicators are telling us. So when we are looking at the indicators, we can clearly see price is literally starting to trend below the 200 period moving average. And usually the 200 period moving average is a very good, solid long-term indicator. And you do not want price to be trending below the 200 moving average. So considering the fact that it is starting to trend underneath it and it looks like it may end up closing beneath it, that pretty much tells me that, if we do end up closing below it, we may end up dropping down to this level or even this level at some point in time. Now, it is possible that it could end up switching course and going back upwards and back above it before the end of this daily candle today. Let's see here on this current daily candle, we've got about 3.5 hours left on it. So we'll see what happens here. But regardless, we want to keep an eye on these two levels, right? These two midterm levels right here. These are going to be the most important, all right? We want to gain enough momentum to pass this midterm level in order to be able to have any kind of consistency to be able to potentially reach this level up here of 12 cents, all right? Now, if we go ahead and take off the EMAs and turn on the Bollinger Bands, let's see what we got going on here. On the Bollinger Bands, we can clearly see the same thing. Price is trending below the moving average. Basically, what happened here is we got to the bottom band here, and then we went back up to retest the moving average in the bands, and then it ended up refusing or failing to go above that, and so we ended up starting to go down, all right? And that's typically usually what happens for those of you who aren't familiar with Bollinger Bands. Usually when the price starts to trend below the moving average, it typically signals that we are in a bearish trend, all right? And that's kind of what's going on here. And let me see if I can find another example. But as you guys can clearly see here with the Bollinger Bands, when price is bullish, usually price is following up on top of the Bollinger Bands or on top of the moving average within the Bollinger Bands itself. And when price starts to get bearish, we end up going beneath the moving average, and we end up going down to the bottom of the band, and then coming back up to retest it again, or retest the moving average, and then we end up going down again, and then going back up to retest it again, and once it fails again, then we go back down again, and then we go back up to retest, and then finally, as you guys see right here, we retested it again, only this time there was enough momentum to go straight up and straight through, and that's why we ended up going up there. All right, so that's kind of what we want to see happening here. All right, I would expect that if we do end up dropping to this lower level down here or this lower level down here, I assume we'll end up bouncing off and eventually going back up at some point in time there. All right, so if we go ahead and take off the Bollinger Bands now and take a look at the RSI, RSI is extremely oversold right now. So I mean, this thing technically could use some bullish momentum to the upside, and I feel like when it does, it's going to make a big move to the upside, especially with how currently oversold it is on the RSI as well. All right, so with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall altcoin market in general. Now, the overall altcoin market here, this is the overall total 3 crypto altcoin market cap chart. As you guys can clearly see, we have been riding support for quite a few days. We had very strong support here at right around $660 billion, but right now prices, this is another indicator that's telling me that, you know, prices of altcoins could end up dropping a little bit further, and we could end up going down to the $625 billion level area at the time of me filming this video anyway. All right, so we want to keep an eye on these levels to see where things are at. But what was nice here is we did end up creating some higher lows on the way up in this little trend that we had going on, but it just completely failed to go to the top of the channel up here like it did here and here. And that pretty much told me that, okay, we're probably going to stop here at this resistance level at 720 billion, which is exactly what happened. And we started to go back down. And I mean, realistically, there is more room for the downside, as you guys can clearly see on the RSI down below. You can clearly see that there is still some more room for it to go to the downside. So it is still possible that we could have some more further downward movements as well. All right, so it's just something to keep in mind here, okay? So guys, before I go ahead and wrap up this video, if you did enjoy this video and you feel like you got some decent value out of it, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button below the video to help me out, and leave me a comment below on your personal thoughts on where you think the price of HBAR is going to go in the short term. And hey guys, with that said, for those of you who ended up sticking around throughout the entire video, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope to see all of you in my future videos.